little one. Didn't even know you had it, Bubba. Hola pescaditos, welcome back to the channel and welcome back to another video. I took the opportunity over the past couple weeks to build a little platform after I acquired this camper shell for my truck, because I'd like to do some overnight trips with the kayak. Now, building the platform, I kind of had two options. I could do something that the kayak would sit on top of. It would maybe have some space underneath, like some drawers for like a truck vault, but the issue with that was that anytime I slept in it, I would have to take the kayak out and put it on the ground. So I wanted something that if I needed the option of maybe sleeping overnight in a parking lot or something, I could have the kayak still in the truck with me. Let's switch to a voiceover and talk a little bit about this build and kind of how I did it and what all I used for it. I didn't want to invest a whole lot of money in this in case it did not work out the way that I wanted it to. I want to say that I spent roughly $100 on materials, and that's for all the wood for the platform, the fasteners for the platform, the carpet that I put over it, and the glue that I used to attach that. I fortunately already have some of the tools that I needed in order to make it happen, so if you don't have that, you might have to spend a little bit on tools. But basically, you can see right here, I started just by making a couple of rectangular frames out of 2x4s, and I braced them up to support weight to where they would basically slide straight into the truck, and I could attach the platform on top of that. I think I actually went back and rebraced these a little bit more once I completed the build. It wasn't just a singular brace in the center. There was a couple more that were going horizontally as well as vertically. Now, when you are working on any type of woodworking project, I like to typically subscribe to the ideology of measure once and cut 3 or 4 times. As I slid this into the bed, I figured out that I had measured incorrectly or cut incorrectly, and that the platform was too tall, because I wanted it to sit high enough for the kayak to slide under it, but not so high that I wasn't able to move around on the actual sleeping area. So later on I had to go back out and slide these platforms back out, cut them down after unfastening everything, and then reattach them. And I hate to admit it, but I think I had to do it more than one time. So here I am now actually getting ready to attach the top sleeping area, the platform, to these frames that I had made. At this point, I think I've got them cut down to the correct height, and I'm measuring the correct width for the kayak and just kind of spacing them out enough with some bracing down at the bottom to keep them in place. And then this OSB board, basically it's 3/4 inch OSB board. I've cut it down to size for the width of the truck to slide in, and just kind of squaring everything up before I just start running some screws down it. I'm using this to guide, kind of make sure that I'm biting into the actual frames that I made, and just running them straight down. And I'll do the same thing with another sheet here in just a minute. No, I had to be careful with kind of adding additional bracing right under the actual platform. I wanted to make sure that it was secure for me laying on it and any other kind of weight that I needed to put above it. But at the same time, I tried to get the height of it to where the kayak would just fit under it. So, adding that bracing kind of lowers the height and the clearance for the kayak. So I just kind of had to be careful about where I put all that. This is actually an outdoor rug that just happened to be maybe a foot longer and a foot wider than the size of the platform that I was building, which worked out perfectly. I just sprayed down some adhesive and made sure to kind of pull the carpet tight and then fold it up under and then staple it in place. But hopefully this is weather resistant enough if moisture gets up in there. If I'm loading a kayak in and out after it's been in a river, moisture is just going to make its way into the bed of the truck. It's just kind of the nature of the game. So hopefully it being an outdoor carpet will kind of prevent it from maybe acquiring or holding water or mold or whatever the case may be. But only time will tell with that. Really, this is a pretty simple setup, but it seemed like a logical solution for what I was trying to achieve. A lot of guys are out there making much more complicated sleeping platforms and builds for truck camping. Mine isn't something that I intend to spend a whole lot of time in, but it was the easiest way to create an area that I could sleep on and also transport the kayak without having to pull it in a trailer or something of those natures. Something of that nature. But this it seems to work out pretty well, and I'm pretty satisfied with it so far. I'll hopefully update, and we'll be able to figure out if it's a long-term solution to what I wanted to do. There we go. That thing's got a little bit of bluegill. There we go. That's what we need. Man, he's a little bit bigger than really what we're after. But, man, a lot bigger than what we're after. But beautiful fish.